Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin in Tucson, Arizona, and today I have for you an open box video for PCGS, stuff that we sent in on the economy service. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, all the goodies. We're going to start with the stuff that the engineer threw in, and we will end with some opening some basic crackouts. We've got some crackouts for the end of the video. So this 1962 half dollar, the engineer sent in because he was busy cherry picking some stuff. This is an FS-901. So, of course, you're wondering what is an FS-901, and of course, I'm wondering the same question. So I got to go get me one of these handy-dandy cherry picker guides, find the right page, and then make sure I can understand what it is. And then he expects me to film that dot right there. You see that? It's like a D that's sideways and misplaced. Wow. Interesting piece. So that little write-up said that it's controversial. What's not controversial is going to be my inability to find this sucker. Oh, there it is. Actually, what's interesting is it doesn't look like it's at much of an angle, and actually it's pretty easy to see. Must have just got the light correct. So there. Now I'm switching to the more powerful magnifying glass. I'm totally going to lose it. There's that D kind of like dead center. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I don't know the values on the all these FS numbered pieces that he sent in. We'll figure that out when it happens. Next up is this 1963 quarter. This is a little bit more common of a type to pick up. This is an FS-101. This is a double die obverse, and it should be right on the "In God We Trust." Should be able to see it a little bit right there at that angle, especially if you concentrate on the I. The G, the T, look at the R. The R has got a lot going on there. Nice MS-65 coin. Type of coin that I think I see people cherry pick. I've seen that before. We've had them before. That other one I didn't have. We're going to interrupt these cherry pickers to bring you a coin that was clearly sent in just because the toning is pretty interesting. I mean, you've got a modeled kind of different colored palettes, some chrome, gold, yellow, blue, mauve, something like that. Sometimes we send stuff in just to kind of preserve the overall color. I'm laughing because I'm noticing the foil seal, the PCGS foil seal, and I'm looking at the color dance off the coin and just kind of how similar they look right there. So MS-64, I'm guessing that we'll end up putting that one up on kind of an auction format. All right, I need more books for this, because next up we've got this 1956 double die reverse FS-801 MS-66 red. Really gonna have to be squinting on this one, guys. Let me see what we got going on with that double die. Maybe I'll just show you the picture only, because that feels a little challenging right there. We've got some of the E, R, and then the leaf on the back. Let's see what we can do here. All right, besides drop it. Dropping is the easy part. But that reflection. Hard part is the reflection on proof coins oftentimes looks like doubling. So I'm trying to get just the right angle to where we can see multiple lines clearly. The one thing I will say is the bottom of that E in America looks a little bit fatter. This is not going to be the type that I'm having a hard time with this one. 66 red on that guy. And this last one is kind of wild because this is FS-404 not found page. PCGS Proof 65 re-engraved obverse design. And what's fascinating about this is there are several different obverse re-engraved areas. They just re-engraved the dies as they wore out, and so there's actually several different types, and they all have to do with that ribbon on the back side of that hippie's ponytail. So let's take a look and see what we got going on here, because you can actually see that there are several different styles of that re-engraving on the back side. So the 404 has a real nice long tail on the back side. So I'm dropping stuff, not yet. All right, now I'm dropping stuff. Here we go. Let's look at that again here and see if we can see that re-engraved area. So those two lines coming down off the ponytail near the bottom, those are the lines that are have been re-engraved. So they hand engraved the dies. So that's kind of cool. Fun stuff. And now back to our regular scheduled program where I'm about to wow you, razzle dazzle you with a coin that I think just about any other time I would have sent this coin in, it would have come back questionable color. And this coin did not. MS65 brown. I feel not vindicated, however. I think, okay, well, a 65, I can't complain about a 65. That's okay. Also, it just feels like it's prettier than that. So not sure I'm going to price this coin. It's, you know, the type of thing that's definitely going to have a premium to a collector who's looking for something along those lines. I will say that probably a coin like that is going to be maybe in that $150 range, you know, over the normal asking price. Next up, 1910 Philly, also something with just like a really cool original look to it, and a coin that I really thought was nice uncirculated piece. And that came back a 64 brown. Once again, very attractive. Probably in that $75 to $100 type price range on a coin like that. There we go. Gonna just try to keep my desk almost clean as I go along here. 1906 is another coin that is a nice ascent with a really attractive look to it, with some nice color differential throughout the piece. And here's a good shot of that. MS64 red brown. Very, very attractive coin all in all. I think that one was in that 150 range. I'll double check some of my notes. But, you know, most of your 1900 cents, kind of, if they're just a nice uncirculated brown cent, you know, $30 to $60 range oftentimes. But then you get a little color, and then all of a sudden they're a little bit nicer. And then if you get a full red in gem state, then they really jump. So this one's interesting. This one has a touch of that purple and blue that we saw on that Lincoln cent. This one's an MS63 red brown. So that's probably going to be a little bit closer to that $75 plus ballpark. You died of dysentery. Here is the Oregon Trail. One of the most iconic of all the U.S. commemorative half dollars. Great looking luster to it. You can see a couple little scuff marks up there north of the native, and there's the Esmond mark down there just to the left of his feet. Nice, mostly white, attractive piece. 1926. Some hard working stuff going on there. MS64. MS64, the Oregon, that's probably north of 250. Next up, I had a bunch of just raw dollars from an album that I got in that I thought, you know, if something looks like it could be a nice 64 or better coin, usually I'll send it in. This actually, I got hijacked again. This is actually something that I think the engineer sent in, or no, maybe he just pulled it out, because this is the VAM12 checkmark PCGS MS65 PL. Not sure what that's trading at. Also, I didn't get the check mark ahead of time. I was too busy looking up those other VAMs to see where the check mark is. Lots of stuff goes on with these coins, especially those first few years, 1878, 79, 80. Pretty attractive Morgan dollar right there. Not sure on the VAM on that guy. Next up, 1880S. Very pleasing coin. You know, most of your MS64, I think in this marketplace have been trading in that $70 to $100 range, depending what it is. Some of them a little bit more, you know, 120, and then your MS65 are going to be that 120 to $200 range. There's a lot of variance depending on the actual coin and how it looks. But you can also kind of get a feel for when you look at a lot of Morgans and see how nice they come, a lot of these 1880 especially. You know, you kind of understand how it is that they don't look. I was just say they don't look at them closely. That's an inaccurate statement, but how they can pass by them a little quicker than some of the other coins. It's a Morgan. I've seen that before. Another nice MS64 coin. That's going to go true for, of course, your 79S, 80S, 81S, and then those New Orleans mints, the 83, 84, 85. There's 3 years of New Orleans mints where it's just like you can buy a really pretty coin. This one is the first one so far that I'm a little surprised didn't grade higher. This one's a 64. I feel like this coin's a little bit nicer looking than the other coins. Now, once again, the other coins all had nice kind of like proof-like finishes to them, and that one did not, but it was pretty nice. And then this guy here, also, by the way, this one's a 64 as well. And like, I think that the previous coin was noticeably nicer than this coin. Like, very noticeably nicer. Also, now that I've decided to look at both sides of the coin before I talk, you know, this was one of those coins where actually I think I thought it was going to grade at 3. But I was sending it in because I wanted to make sure, like I was talking about that toned $50 earlier, that we go ahead and get this holder, this coin in a holder, just to preserve it, just because the reverse has kind of some nice tone to it, nice little bit of color. $19.23 peace dollar. For those of you who have followed the saga of the Coin Geek over the years, you may already know that peace dollars uber tough to get into an MS65 holder. This one has some super nice flesh to it, very original looking coin, and finally got a 5 on a peace dollar, so that feels good. I'm just kind of smiling now because I can depart in peace. That's it. And speaking of dollars that you just kind of wanted in a holder because you liked how it looked, this was a coin that I did not think was a gem coin, but I liked the iridescence, and I thought I want to keep that preserved in a holder for time, right? For someone to figure out down the road to be like, hey, who saved that coin? MS63, but just really a pretty coin. You know, definitely something that's going to be worth more than just your typical MS63 type item. Alrighty then. Now we've got a lot of cracking to do here, guys. So let's get cracking. So this was amongst some other of these groups of coins that we got in that were most of these weird oddball holders that aren't really holders. But there were some that were ICG. ICG had some type of a positive reputation, I think, for a while. I know that they're probably still out there, but I have yet to see them trade regularly in the marketplace. This one was MS65, and a lot of chatter, MS63. So really liked the luster, though. I thought this had a really nice original fresh look to it overall. The 21Ss and 21Ds both come super flat, and you can just look at that bird. So just be aware that that's how these coins come. They just look like they've been run over. You know, that there's just no detail left on those in general. So then they have a very different look than the rest of the Morgan series. Same thing with that big flat ear spot. I mean, the ear is halfway gone on that coin, right? So MS63 version of that guy is probably $140-ish, somewhere in there. Here, this one was also graded high. I think now that we had two next to each other, this coin actually to me looks like a gem coin. Way fewer contact marks on that coin. A little bit better strike as well. You can actually make out part of the eagle's chest feathers. So pretty attractive. MS64, so that's probably 2.5 range. Big jumps, and also by eye appeal though, those coins, I'm not going to complain about them being only a point apart, but also they definitely feel like they're 2 points apart. 000040. Got a couple coming at you here. So this one's fun. Reverse up, MS67 rainbow reverse. So how many of you think we got an MS67? Huh? Okay, so we definitely got the rainbow though. So this is something that is, of course, a reoccurring theme for this episode here. Lots of rainbow action and lots of putting coins in holders just because they're attractive. You know, that one, even though it's only a 63, I think easily someone would be willing to pay $200 or more on that coin. Next up, we get into this era here, this 03. This one's actually a pretty interesting coin. They had it graded as 66, mind you. It's a pretty nice coin, and 03 Philadelphias are relatively tough coins to get in higher grade. And what's interesting about this coin is you have the tale of two sides here. You see how dark it is at that angle? This angle, it still has quite a bit of white to it. This actually cleaned unk details. The only thing I would argue with on this is that they probably should have wrote cleaned reverse, because I think the obverse gives you that real nice look so that you can tell the difference between, like, okay, this is what the luster should look like. You know, it's still very white at these angles, and then you're like, just not as much. There's just that little bit of a wipe going on with those guys. All right, what do we got next up here? We had some coins that were very interesting because this was graded a 63 on a 96.0, which, I don't have my book in front of me. 96.0 and 3 would be like Googles of dollars, right? So this coin came back, XF details, cleaned. Also, you know, there's a part of me that might just go ahead and crack that out and send it into NGC. We'll see what happens. Because we have something also fun. Here's an 94.0 and AU50. Just trying to figure out which coin I find more fascinating. Because I really like this 94.0 actually overall. XF details cleaned. So they're very interesting coins because I think, I know, I just kind of feel like I could straight grade this coin. This one's a little bright. Clearly, a little bright. Also, though, this one I thought had a lot more of like an AU detail to it for what it's worth. All right, not last, I've got two more to show you. Had this 90.0. 90.0 is another coin that in higher grades jumps a lot in value. And this one was kind of cool because it had a real nice, nice little gentle tone to it. 90.0's not a coin that's as known for having toning. So this guy, we will go from a nice 60, what was that, a 66 to a 63. But it's still a coin that's going to be north of $200. 90.0's tough date. And the toning adds value to somebody who wants toning, and to somebody who does not want toning, it does not add value. There's that. This is the last one. Okay, so this one is fun. I liked this coin. This 040 was in a PCI 66 holder, and it was on our website at 165. I had it priced as a 65. And fun fact, I did not ask them to put this coin reverse up, and yet here it is. They chose to do that, which is really unusual. I don't see them do that too often. So I would definitely argue for a superb gem mint state on this coin on the reverse. Like, it's just got beauty marks on top of beauty marks here. They called it a 65, so I'm not really going to complain, but I still feel like probably I had called it a 65 before, but now I'm just getting greedy because I'm looking at it like, hey, that could be a 66, you know, now that it's a 5. Yeah, just take an inch, leave a mile, something like that. So, okay, I'm going to be really happy with a 65 grade on a coin that was in a PCI 66 holder, but it is a very lovely coin. And that's it. We're out of time for the day, or coins, or maybe both. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.